G'day guys, Mac here with the Outer Circle. I'm here with my mate Cat.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're here for another episode of the Weekly Scrubdown. So, Cat, what have you been up to in the hobby this week?
I'm working on trying to... I'm cleaning up my hobby areas, my tables, stuff like that. My hobby room, my painting desk. It's been a slow process. And then I've also been trying to separate my projects and see what I've got. And I think I've got like 6 or 7 armies on it at the moment, from Militia, Blood Angels, World Eaters. Still got Ultramarine stuff. I don't know what to do about the Elf Legion stuff. I'm buying stuff and fuck. I bought some guns from Crumlech. I bought 5 of those assault cannons so I can put them on rhinos. I bought a sniper rifle from them as well to make it the instrument for the sniper Alpha Legion guy. And I also bought them combi bolters because I thought I lost the ones that I made and already magnetized, but I found them. I bought them yesterday, put in the order yesterday, and I found them today. So,
It's always the fucking way, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, that's about it. What about yourself? I saw you some pictures about the Don.
Yes, the Master Betron.
Don is good. Is it good, or is it a shitload of work?
It's been a fucking lot of work, actually. The mold was pretty good. A lot of the panels were pretty straight. I've just got some pictures up for like size and what I've been doing on it. Basically, I spent probably 8 hours of assembly time just filing, just to get like the 2 top plates. Like there's like a command area of bunker at the top, which has like the void shields on top.
Yep.
And there's a front plate which has like generators and has like the big melter gun. And I spent just hours trying to get them to not only mate up with each other, but to mate up with the 2 sides of the hull and the internal ribbing that holds them from underneath.
Right.
Then, once I got onto the assembly, there was all these hydraulic cylinders and shit that had to be put in, that actually, like, they work. Obviously, they're not real hydraulic cylinders, but the pistons inside slide back and forth. So it was just getting all that sort of stuff to fit correctly, making sure everything was squared off, straight, slotted in nicely, and then I started magnetizing it, which took a fucking night and a day, it feels like, because I put magnets all over it. So there's a magnet for the rear door and a mating magnet in the top of the tank. There's also 2 magnets in the front to hold the 2 front doors. Also putting more magnets. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets in both the fortification part and the melter part of the hull to hold them to one another, and another 4 in the sides of the hull. With the sides of the hull, I golf balled it, as I talked about in my video log last week. So drilled lots of holes in it so that when I put the epoxy, 2-part epoxy in, I have more surface area to bind with. Once everything was sort of magnetized, I got the fits right. I finally got around to attaching everything together with a ton of different clamps. Thankfully, I have a workshop, proper full-size workshop, which you've seen before, and I was able to use my tools to get the job done. But it took a fair few days, between model prep before I actually got onto painting it. Paint-wise, I did.
Yeah, you want a good foundation for something, especially spending $500 Australian dollars plus on something like that. You want to take the time. So you didn't magnetize it so the roof can come off, did you? Or
Yeah.
You did.
You can, once I have it on the tabletop, you can pull off both of the top hull sections, and you can literally walk models from the front to the rear of the vehicle.
That seems fucking pointless, but it's, if you're spending that much money on it, you want to put the effort in. Just to confirm, it doesn't come with extra weaponry, does it? It just comes with
the stock standard weaponry. You can't. I don't even think you can add anything. The rules for it are
it
actually pretty
upgrades.
mediocre.
Oof.
Like, you'll notice, it doesn't even have the RAM rule.
Oh fuck! What?
You know how like the Typhon has like super heavy ram rule.
Yeah.
So like when it rams units, it automatically counts as like strength 10 and shit like that. This doesn't.
It can still ram as a super heavy.
It can still ram, but it doesn't get the bonuses that the Typhon does. Even those things way
it's still
the fuck
getting
bigger.
strength 10. It's like a super heavy tank plus 14 on the front. So that's for every thing around the side. Thing, I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be pretty fucking strong if it goes more than 6 feet.
It's
I'm guessing
not as good as the Typhon. It's that simple. For whatever reason, it's not as good as the Typhon at ramming.
It's probably slow as hell. Pretty fucking big.
It's got the same speed as the Typhon, actually. Yeah. So anyway,
in a drag race though, if they met up in drag race, they met up at the lights. Typhon's leaving it for dead. This guy is like the old hatchback man. He's not going anywhere.
I'm sure if they meet up in real life, this would be a bit more of a lumbering behemoth, but I still don't think you want to get rammed by it.
I just listfully walk out of the way. It doesn't seem like it'd go over 40 kilometers an hour. It's fucking huge.
So I've done a lot of weathering on the hull. When I've done the insides, I've done the same sort of khaki beige that I did on the Rhinos for my Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
With a sort of two-tone grey and a brown for the sponge weathering. And then I used some AK, as we were talking about last week with our paint ranges, some AK weathering effects like winter grime and rust, mixed in with some white spirits and painted that on to all the grills in the floor to give it that real dirty, oily, grimy look. I painted sort of a soft metallic green for the lights inside. I tried to use gold as well just to accent it. Sparsely used the gold, but just to give it some colour, because beige can be very boring after a while.
Yeah.
So I got it up to that point last night. I did like a 5-hour binge just where I painted the interior, and I lost track of the time, and then it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, fuck, I've got to go to bed. And this Arvo, when I got back from work, I was like, okay, now I'm going to try painting it. So I used this L-clad that Michael from the Eye Horace gave me. He bought some red L-clad lacquer paint to try out, and turns out it paints more purple than red. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go from here, trying to fix it.
Wait a minute, Michael from the Eye of Horrors podcast, the one that you're actually having done off with, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we've been.
Do you think this was a ploy?
We've been sending each other like
back?
tips and hints along the way. Like
he set you back a week. I think that's a little bit of espionage there, man. I don't think that was trying to help you at all. He's there laughing. He'll just be laughing all weekend while he does his don. He's gonna be like, ha ha, eat a dick.
Well, it's not a Mastodon race. The don-off is just we both want to get them done in time for HeroCon, which is 13th of December, I'm going to say. I'm probably wrong on that, but it's about then, up in Townsville. So I appreciated it. I painted it silver and appreciated it with some charcoal grey, and then painted over the top of it. And it's a more purpley pink colour than the rest of my Thousand Suns, which has more of a reddish orange metallic to it. So now I've got to figure out a way of trying to get this to look more like them. Obviously, I've got a lot of black stripes and stuff I want to paint on it, because I want to do it up like the Thousand Suns Land Raider image that Forge World released at their open day from the book artwork. So yeah, looks like I've got some problem solving on my hands in the days ahead, trying to get this where I want it to be. But hey, that's Mastodon problems for you.
Well, it sounds like espionage to me. You should send Michael a pot of like Ultramarines blue or something. Here, paint your Imperial fists with this. Don't worry, it's a good yellow. And screw the shit out of him. Yeah.
Why don't I just get fucking drugs delivered to his door through the mail? Like, that'd be just as effective at ruining his life, wouldn't it?
Yeah, call the cops on him. Just plant some drugs in his house. Yeah, that'd work too.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, come on our show.
Get wrecked.
All right. So let's start tackling the new releases. You mentioned Cromlech before. How you bought some stuff from them, and they've released some Legionary heavy weapons, which are, I'm assuming, very compatible with the Games Workshop Forge World range of Space Marines.
By coincidence, purely, I'm sure they didn't mean that to happen.
So yeah, do you want to take us through these different heavy weapons?
Yep, cool. So all I can see right now is the las cannons, but they came up with the plasma cannon, las cannon. What other shit do they have? It's a new release. Standard stuff. I don't think they are called las cannons for purposes of. No, they are Legionary las cannon, blatantly. Okay, cool.
Well, I'm guessing that Games Workshop, when they did that Chapter House lawsuit, probably couldn't pull off the copyright to las cannon.
Yeah.
So they did try and copyright like Halberd and Pauldron, so their copyright guys aren't exactly the greatest in the world at it.
No, that's what happens when you try and copyright an arrow and shit, I guess. And you can't own the world, Games Workshop. Anyways, it's just a nice little piece of kit. It's an alternate miniature. You got the grav cannon as well. Not that that's heresy related. Yeah, so it's you got the plasma, you got a frag launcher as well. I think that's more 40k for the Death Watch or something, and the las cannon as well. I don't not like them. I think they're pretty unique, and I think they're just casted like that, so or a couple of pieces, so it'd be less fuck around than Games Workshop with all the cables and shit. So if you wanted, for the ease of speed, I've always preferred Cromlech casting to Games Workshop. There's less cleanup. I clean all my stuff in soapy water, but these, you don't need to furiously fucking scrub the shit out of these, and you don't need to put on a plastic like sometimes I have to put on a plastic sealer for like cars and shit on my resin from Forge World. I don't have to really do that with this. It's a nice surface. So for the ES speed painting, they also got a little breacher bike as well. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that thing looks weird.
It looks
like
funny.
It reminds you of like the German half-track motorcycles, the Kubelwaffles or whatever they were called.
I wouldn't really mind that for a as a bike. That would be alright actually. See, it's good just for a mix-up, so you don't see the same repetitiveness. If you want your army to look out to be unique,
you could have some fun using like a bike like that with like a rapier attached to it in some way. You know, in like a White Scars army. You could call it like a high-speed rapier variant. You know, just thinking outside the box here.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there.
I'm looking at the Legionary frag launcher at the moment. I took a punt that in their address up the top is the name, so I just like typed in frag and plasma instead of las cannon, and it took me to the right place. The frag launcher kind of looks like a psi cannon to me.
I believe that came out a couple of weeks ago, and it is in line with the Death Watch line from Games Workshop, and I think you can G up you guys with these frag launchers, the Games Workshop frag launchers, but you only receive 2 in a box of 10 or whatever, as GW does. So if you wanted more and that look similar, these would be the way to go, but since that's about 8 years too late, I don't need these.
Funny that. Alright, so moving right along to things that are a bit too late, let's look into Games Workshop's new releases for the week. Looks like we've got a bunch of Blood Angels stuff.
Yeah, that seems like it's needed.
Any of these bundles sort of making you look at them and go, ooh, I'm interested in that, or that looks like something I might want?
No. Are you going new releases or pre-orders?
I'm in pre-orders.
Yeah, right. Because there we go. Pre-orders.
Yeah, you get a bit more variety in pre-orders.
Holy crap, variety! Look at that. Is my computer trying to rob me? $478 for Archangel Demi Company, a company. I remember when they had.
When a company was 100 Marines.
Yeah, remember that when our dollar was about $1 17 was buying $1.17 of the US, our dollar was, and America was paying 400 US for a company, and we were paying 800, and we were buying $1.17.
Yeah, look, that was pretty good times. I reckon Games Workshop makes most of their profit from Australia.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, we're just picking up the slack for the rest of the world. Let's not look into their prices anymore, because it's like...
Yeah, we've done to death. Obviously, we're getting moved off.
You're staring into the void. You know, it's the event horizon. You're staring into the fucking... the black hole generator at the back of the ship, and it's going to take you to the realm of darkness. So, yeah.
You get 5-man Vanguard, 5-man Stone Guard, 2 Close Combat Dreads, 5 Terminators, 10 Blood Angel Assault Terminators. What? No, thank you.
I think the only thing I really am interested in here is, again, it's a few years too late, is the Death Company Strike Force. I always really liked Death Company. There was a bloke who used to work at Games Workshop in Melbourne, Andrew Cassidy, I think his name was. We were mates back in the day, but he used to run like fucking brutal as Death Company in like 3rd and 4th edition. And that was back when they were all like metal, and if they'd released them in plastic in that time, they probably would have like secured me from Zench's grasp, but those were the days of Mighty 3.5, and yeah, well, long story short, I've never gone back to being a loyalist.
I think they're too over the top now with the Death Company. I feel like, much like Death Watch, they should be mostly black. The distinctive, just red markings everywhere, but they're embossed, which I guess helps some painters, but it's a red cross, come on. But you can transfer that on as well, but there's too many ribbons and they're so ornate, they're just going to die anyway. Wouldn't you give them like half-assed armor for them to just go die and just not be... Because they don't use their gene seed.
Fluff-wise, they're all like maddened and they've lost their minds because like this blood rage. Why would they be so intent on like looking after their armor and modifying it to be like artificer armor? And I don't know.
Yeah, because if they wouldn't be using their old armor, I'm pretty sure their company commanders would be like, all right, so you're going to Death Watch Company now. So what's going to happen? You're going to have to leave your gear here. Don't worry, there's some older marks of armor for you to use there, which is it's just probably the shit they found on the floor.
Bullet holes.
Yeah, that's it. it's just yeah.
Some of them still have bits of like the old Marines' bodies in them. Just hose that out. I don't know. Like we were talking about it the other night. We were having a good laugh. We won't go too into the subject, but how ornate Marines are from different chapters. When it's like, as loyalists, there should be a bit more uniformity. Among the, not the colour palette, but the stylistic design. Like, you should clearly be able to tell what chapter a force belongs to, but at the same time, it shouldn't be so overpowering. Like, if you look in the Ultramarines Codex, Ultramarines, Raven Guard, fucking Salamanders, 3/4 of the chaps in the codexes, it's the paint job that shows the difference. When you step outside of that codex and you go into Dark Angels, Blood Angels, etc., they suddenly dial up their specific traits to 11, and they're more individual and ornate than a lot of Chaos guys are, which seems a bit strange when Chaos is sort of supposed to be the the over the top, everyone's their own fucking dude fighting for themselves.
What I thought I did like was a Blood Angel Stern Guard veteran squad. I thought I could use that for Heresy. They've got a good heavy flamer in there and stuff, but now looking at it, as I've clicked on it, I don't like it. The chainsword has a fucking eagle on the end, which is weird, and the sergeant, who I assume is the sergeant, lead guy, they've put the old nipples on the armor, like 90s Batman.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Yeah, I love that movie. That's such schlock. I love schlocky movies.
It's full Batman. If you're going to make a Batman model out of Space Marines, definitely the nipple armor is there to be used.
Nipple armor and a Batsy helmet from the Night Lords.
So I might get this guy if I can come across cheap if someone's selling some cheap, I'll probably get them and just dial the fucking nipples out to 110.
See, I like the Blood Angels range overall. What they've got with
so over
most
the top.
of their stuff. It's the Death Company is so over the top. And when the Sanguinary Guard came out in 5th, everyone went over the top and put sanguinary bits through their whole fucking armies. Which, who was I talking to? I was talking to a guy at Siege of Geigenhive. I'm sorry I can't remember your name, dude. But shout out to you. You know who the fuck you are, even if I don't. And he was talking about how his theory was that Games Workshop's business model was altered by the success of the Sanguinary Guard, and it influenced the Age of Sigmar Marines. Because Sanguinary Guard sold like fucking hotcakes because of like the 6-pack armor and all the cool accessories they got. He reckons that affected, total conspiracy theory, but I love a good conspiracy theory. He reckons that if you look at like Sigma Marines, they're the same thing as Sanguinary Guard without wings. They're golden, they've got the 6-packs, they've got the same sort of faceplate.
Do they have nipples?
I think
nipple armor.
They don't. I'm going to say they don't. I'll have a quick look.
That's probably where they went wrong. Probably need nipples.
Well, that's what's letting Age of Sigmar down then. It clearly
it
would have retained a bigger audience if there was more nipples.
No. I'm going on the Age of Sigmar thing right now.
Alright,
I'm in. I don't know how to navigate it.
This website's a clusterfuck. I'm just going to go...
What if I put nipples in the search engine?
To random... No, there's no nipples. Although each unit's slightly different.
You know the guys I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Space Marine guys.
Yeah. They're Stormcast Eternals in the Forces of Order.
It looks like
I think it has something to do with Azeroth.
No, they don't have nipples. Wow, they do look like fucking goddamn. Holy crap!
Yeah, the Sanguinary Guard without wings.
Holy shit, man.
He's like, apparently they think that people... His conspiracy theory, and I love it, I love a good conspiracy theory, is that Games Workshop thinks that people really like the aesthetics of Sanguinary Guard, and so if they make things that look like Sanguinary Guard, people will buy them. And he's probably right, because these things apparently sold really fucking well.
Celestian Prime... Celestian Prime? He's $134 for one picture.
He's pretty huge, though.
Holy good God.
I'll defend Games Workshop. He's pretty big.
He's pretty big, I guess. He doesn't have nipples. He's got lines in his
he's taller
chest.
than a Defiler, dude.
No, fucking Jesus.
Yeah, it doesn't look it because
aesthetic.
they haven't put anything there for scale. You've always got to put something in for scale. This is where Forge World does better than Games Workshop, because at least they put like the Marine next to the Titan's foot, so you can tell how much bigger it is. Whereas this fucking chap, I've seen him in the flesh, and he's probably 6-8 inches tall. But you can't tell looking at him. He just looks like any other Sigma Marine dude.
The prosecutors with Stormclaw javelins also do not have nipples. They've got the perfect armor for nipples. The nipples are not included. They got the abs.
Is that on the box? Pecs. Nipples not included.
Or maybe their javelins, like their nipples got so hard they ripped them off and they're using them as javelins.
Oh,
because they're hard. Because everyone's hard for fucking Age of Sigmar.
You can't tell me these aren't Sanguinary Guard. The white wings, the golden type armor, the 6-packs. It's all there. So yeah, great conspiracy theory. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. They don't do it for me, but I hear that they sold pretty well. That particular race.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just a new thing, and I saw a lot of people converting them to So 40k or some shit. I don't know.
Every fuck knuckle and his mate trying to make custodes.
Yeah, I remember making custodes this afternoon. I came home from work and I did a shit.
And to be fair, right, guys, custodes are coming from Forge World. You can stop trying to convert custodes up out of Sigma Marines. Also, people who keep converting in quotation marks the characters out of the Betrayal at Kelth box set, and all you're doing is only a head swap, or you're just sticking like a fucking decal on them, you're not converting it. You're kit bashing it at best. And please, I've seen enough Betrayal at Kelth chaplains and Terminators to last me a lifetime. So
that's all. I don't mind it, guys. Don't worry. You can show me. Macca doesn't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. Cat will look at it.
Oh, I'm just pointing this out. James entered a fucking Battle of Kelth box set, a fucking chaplain with a head swap of a
and weapons
into a painting competition.
Head and weapons.
Oh no! So, fuck.
But I didn't say it was a classic conversion or anything like that. But a lot of people I've noticed keep putting pictures up going, check out my Betrayal at Kelth dude. It's like, wow, he looks just like all the other Betrayal at Kelth dudes.
I can understand that. I don't really do it myself. I don't post my work because
fully painted,
spending that time...
Fully painted is different. It's when they're like raw plastic still.
But even then, I was like, this time I could be doing this. I could be painting. And I can see how some people, it can give you motivation and people like encouraging you. I can understand that. So good on them, man. And it's more content.
Fuck them.
Even if it is just a hot swap. I mean, it's all cool.
When it's in grey plastic and nobody's seen it before, different story. When it's in grey plastic and everyone's seen it before, no, just no.
So, but what I don't like it when they say comments and criticism welcome, and then they get all butthurt when somebody gives them criticism. They should probably take out the fucking criticism. Just be like, I just wanted to share this. Don't worry about sharing your opinion on it because I don't care. That's probably the better thing.
So if you have people who want the ego trip, the comments and criticism welcome, but only if it's nice stuff.
It's just like stroke my dick and play with my balls, but don't fucking tell me that my dick isn't clean, kind of thing. Just make sure, like, only good, positive feedback. But then again, positive feedback can be negative as well. It's like, hey, you should probably not have your miniature on fire. Also, there's a video. I've got a video in the make for that, but more to come on that. But
yes, it will come later.
So no, I don't know, man. People should probably, if they want criticism, they've got to be open to good and bad.
Yes, agreed.
And if they don't want that, they should stop putting comments and criticism welcome. Just only ego stroking comments welcome would be fine. Like, no one's who's gonna hate on that, right?
And to be fair, I've seen a lot of like really, really shit stuff go up on forums and Facebook and pages like that, and people like the shit out of it anyway. So even if you want the dick stroking and your stuff's shit, you can probably still get some likes, man. Because people are really afraid to give honest criticism in this hobby. Like, there's nothing wrong with if someone's work is shit, you can tell them it's shit. Just give it to them constructively. Don't... If they put up something that's shit, don't just go, thin your paints. Turn around and say, I like what you've done here. I think you could improve it by doing this. Otherwise, well done, and I really like this feature about it. Give them a little bit of a positive to start, then your criticism in a nice way, and then finish it off with another positive, so that they don't feel all disheartened and shit. Because if they're producing absolute fucking shit and they're looking for meaningful criticism and you just turn around and lick their fucking shaft, are you really helping their hobby?
I'll say it depends where they are at the hobby. Now, that could be their first miniature, and I don't know, man. Everyone's different. Everyone takes criticism differently. Criticism should be given like a thirsty person. You give a thirsty person water, not fucking the ice bucket challenge shit. It should be like, help them. But you don't know where they're at. It's on the internet. You don't know who they are. And it could just be a fucking troll. But with the like thing, I like stuff because I've got a crap load of painting commission painters and stuff on my Facebook that I like just looking at their work, and I like most of their stuff just to let myself know that I've seen it. Like,
okay,
and I can just scroll past it. So I like
that, but that's a different situation. Like, I'll do that as well to some extent. Like with a lot of heresy stuff, if I really like something, like conversion someone's done, I'll give them a like. I'm pretty loose with the likes. It's just the meaningful criticism. Like, if someone isn't producing good work and they do ask for criticism, give them the criticism they've asked for. If you're only leaving a like and you're saying, nah, good job, bro, they're not picking up anything from it.
But the same as if you were to say, not give them a like, and then say, that's shit. It's exactly the same, except you're just being a cunt, man.
Yeah, well, that's right. You can give them criticism without being a cunt. Same as, like,
saying
when
good
you're
job,
at work or if
like,
you're a student, it's the same thing, you know? If
it
you
takes effort,
do something
time
wrong,
to paint anything. Like, to find the time and effort and go the effort of painting something and then share it with the world. Doesn't matter what level it is, at least you're doing it. And someone saying, hey, yeah, that's good. That's fine in my books. It's not going to be like the person's going to be like, yep, cool, I've reached the utmost of painting, because you never ever stop learning. The bar's always being raised. 10 years from now, there'll be different techniques, there'll be different paints, pigments, brushes, all this shit, and there'll be other innovations. So the bar's always rising, man. It doesn't matter who the hell you are. You always should be improving.
Look at some of the changes like we've had over our time in the hobby. Like, it used to be the Games Workshop, flat colours with bright edge highlights. Then there was a big trend in the late 90s towards what I call like patterning and Aztecing, which is where like people would draw lots of extra lines on armor plates. Like, you know how some of these Blood Angels characters have like they have like muscle fibers sculpted onto their armor.
Yeah.
Well, there was a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s where it was like people would hand paint that on, and a lot of the Golden Demon winners would have like stripes and patterns all down their armor. I know in the back of like the Chaos Codexes there was Dreadnoughts who had it. These lines would be all over the armor plates, you know.
Well, that's Golden Demon for you. It's not a pinnacle of any sort or
right.
level of painting. You know, it's not a real painting.
We moved to a lot of freehand stuff. Then the next thing, the big thing at Golden Demons and in general that I noticed a lot of people wanking off to at the moment is non-metallic painting, where they're using like greys to simulate metallic effect. Done right, I've got no problem with it. It's whatever. It's a style. All styles are valid, I suppose. But it is a bit of a wank factor that people are doing. Painting changes over time. New techniques come in. In the Horus Heresy, you know, there's a lot of realism people are going for at the moment. So people are taking on some of the scale figure painting ideas, like using oil paints and, you know, weathering powders and stuff like that to a greater extent than they ever have before.
No, to me, that's boring. Batshit. Like, that is completely fucking boring.
Oh, dude, to me, non-metallic is fucking wank, because I've lost at painting competitions to shit cunts because they've done non-metallic. They've got mold lines all over their shit.
Well, that just sounds like a judge issue there.
Yeah, that's right, because it's the fad.
Technique. Maybe it's because they weren't a complete arsehole. Did you glass the judge before the competition, Macca?
No.
Are you sure? Because that usually sends people a bad vibe about other people. That's speaking from experience, man. I'm just saying.
We were at one of Ty's competitions once, and you and I, we entered models on different size bases.
Yeah,
he put in the player's pack that model must be on the base it was supplied with. And so, like, our two models...
Mind you, against Games Workshop's own fucking wording there, a model can use any size base you want. That's why I think my next army will just be on all on 120s, my next Legion army, or on 120 millimeters.
Yeah, we did it, and Ty told us off. He sent us a nasty gram. Even though it made perfect sense for me to put mine on the base I did, and you to put yours on the base you did, because they were big models that came with really... Because this is before 32, so submarines were too big. Like I had the Tech Marine.
And HQ units
way
like
too fucking big for a 25mm base. Like his arms, even on the 40mm base, I put him on, his arms were bigger than the base. So, yeah. Fuck you, Ty.
I did do it just to push the boundaries. I painted a pink corner for Christ's sake. Yeah. Whatever, it is.
It was very impressive. The amount of... You took For people who obviously wouldn't know this, but you might still have that Corn Lord. Cat did I don't know, 20 layers of different pinks. Just went flat out doing all this blending of different pinks and edge highlights and stuff like that. It was the most fabulous Corn Lord I'd ever seen.
It's fucking fabulous, man. Ah, good times. So what's next in our little...
Forge World. Today's releases. The Cerastus Knight Atropos and head upgrade kit. And 3 new head types.
And it's chock full of heady goodness.
Yes. Good episode. I don't know. What do you think of the Knight's heads?
If that's... I don't know why Forge World is focusing on that. The fuck? It's cool, and it's a little something, I guess. But that shouldn't have taken... I hope that didn't take, a month of work for 3 people, because that's just a waste of fucking effort, in my opinion, for what I want. I want the next book to be good. I want more militia units to be coming out. Maybe some zombies.
Give me my fucking 1,000 suns.
I like their heads, but a lot of them, especially number 1 and number 3, look just at the glance, it's just one's got the old monocle camera thingy, and I don't know, it's a slight variation. It's not that huge.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool though, with the iris around the head, the
little camera thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they look really cool. I will be surprised if someone actually got the job of sculpting these. No offense to their work, I like them. Just that, I don't know if you hear stories from movie sets where some of the stuff that people a lot of the artists doing the conceptual art for movies just scribble random shit occasionally, and then the director comes along and sees some random shit they've scribbled, and he's like, "Oh, I really like that. Let's add it to the movie." It happens all the fucking time, man. This looks like something that a sculptor would just do in their spare time. They just be sitting down one lunch break and just have bits on their desk, and they just go, "Oh yeah, well, I'm just going to glue these together for shits and giggles."
Yeah.
And then the manager comes over and they're like, "Fuck, that looks really good. Hey, do you want to play with it a little?"
I hope that's what happened. I hope that happened, and it was only a couple of days worth of work, because that's really sad. I think that their efforts could be spent on other things. I hope that efforts...
I don't think it's sad.
I'd want to see other things.
I think it's cool.
The Crestus Knight's not I don't like it. I prefer the other knights, the newer knights, the Lancer and all that other stuff. These ones are
you don't like the mechanic and the Atropos style?
Nah, I like the other ones.
I don't know. I like the Knights' heads a lot, and I'd like to encourage Forge World to keep doing this sort of upgrade stuff. I still think that I've said, as you know, from the get-go, one of their big fuck-ups with the Horus Heresy was they should have released all the Legion's upgrade kits at a similar time. They've released so many different super heavy kits, for example. How many super heavies can you take in an army again? Oh, that's right, 2. So they've been so intent on, Felchians, Glaives, Typhons, Cerberuses, fucking Warlord Titans, all this kind of thing. And they should have focused on the little shit. And especially getting some kind of rules out there, which they've started to rectify. I think they've learnt from their mistakes. With Book 6, for example, they released some rules for Blood Angels and Dark Angels and White Scars. So now all the people who are holding out for those legions can finally say, "Okay, cool, now I'm ready to make a start." Because for me personally, and a lot of people I know, they did not start certain armies because they're like, "Well, I don't know what the fuck their rules are going to be, so I don't want to waste my money."
Yeah.
It was a safe bet for me to go, I probably don't want to stock up on Assault Marines for 1,000 Suns. It's probably not going to be our forte, close combat. But, for people with, Space Wolves or something, they might be going, okay, we're going to be combat heavy, but, what about firepower-wise? Raven Guard players, for example, they can only have a certain amount of, tanks to infantry ratio. So if they went out and bought a bunch of tanks to run like mechanized Raven Guard, they'd be fucked, right? So, yeah, it's held a lot of people back, and overall, I am happy to see these upgrade kits coming out, but I do think there are people, I know there's people who haven't got into this hobby yet, because they're unsure of where it's going. So
yeah, definitely. I want to see more militia stuff myself. Just upgrade kits for whatever existing GW kits, or just straight up like a 20-man squad of
head swap, weapon swap for Cadians. It could be that simple. Like, I know people who they go to like Victoria Miniatures.
Victoria Miniatures is pretty good. Yeah,
just buy like bits from her to customize guard with, because people want their militia to feel very different to Cadians. I know I would. I've been thinking of doing something with Tau bits and Victoria Miniatures and maybe some Perry Brothers stuff.
Now that is fucking just atrocious. That's gross. For militia,
most of my plans work out though.
I don't know, man. I've always got the mace. But, I want to see more militia stuff. And also, Imperial Army would be sick. Imagine that. They don't bring out Book 6, they bring out Imperial Army. Would you be pissed? I reckon you'd be pissed. I reckon you're going to be pissed either way.
I'm beyond the point. My point of disappointment was, fuck. I'm going to try and find the picture. Hang on. My point of disappointment was back when they released, what was it? When they were releasing Book 3 and they did like their open day, they put up pictures of like what's coming next, and it was like a slideshow, and it had like artwork from the upcoming books and stuff like that. And one of the ones they released, here we go, I found it, Crisis Averted, everyone, was a picture of, and it was showing like their release schedule, and it was like Prospero, Cygnus, and Calth or something like that. I'm just waiting to get this picture ready to put it on the screen.
Okay,
and so I was like, oh, cool, book 4, Prospero, that makes fucking sense, since it was the first thing that happened in the Heresy.
It was the first thing that happened in the Heresy?
Yeah, it happened before Ispan 3.
Okay, that's fucked my timeline.
Yeah, so the books were supposed to be Prospero, Cygnus, and Calth. There you go. That was the next trilogy after Book 3. And then I was like, fuck yeah, 1,000 Suns, I've been waiting 20 years, it's going to be great. And then Games Workshop pulled the fucking wool out, or pulled the rug out from under Forge World, and they went, oh yeah, we're releasing 7th edition 40k, and we're fucking all the cycle rules right the fuck up. We're going to make them really long and really dull and really fucking fantasy related. And so Forge World had to like scramble. They're like, fuck, what do we do? We can't release Prospero because now everything's gone to shit, and we're lacking a bunch of sculpts anyway. Because people probably don't remember, but 2-3 years ago when this happened, most of the legions that had rules had no miniatures at all. There was like, I think the only legions that had sort of any number of kits was probably Sons of Horus, Word Bearers, and Death Guard. Something like that, Cat? Where like most of the legions had nothing. There weren't even decals for most of the legions.
They had basic Marines and stuff from the other thing. What the fuck? From like that other 2-book system thingy. Anyway, for the Civil War thingy there, but
yeah,
because they had the Mark III and
they had like the Marines. They had all the kits to build your army. There was just no Legion specific.
Yeah, they had a couple of
equipment.
special characters and then a little couple of units. I think
there was Phoenix 2 Primarchs,
Phoenix Guard, which were crap then.
Phoenix Guard. The Death Guard had their Death Shroud. The World Eaters had the not the Red Butchers, so the other guys, Rampages.
Yeah, so they weren't great either.
And the Sons of Horus got kissed on the dick and got everything. They got decals, they got all their special units, their Primarch and Lucan and Abaddon straight out of the gate. But hey, they're the Warmaster Zone, that's fine. So there was hardly anything out for the Legions. There was a ton of rules out, and Forge World was on the back foot. So they said, fuck it, we're not going to do Prospero this year. We'll bring out a sort of stopgap book instead. So they came up with Book 4 Conquest, which gave us a great campaign system with all ways of like running your Legion in a campaign scenario with, relics and things like that. And it also gave us knights. It gave us a better Mechanicum list. It gave us Solar Auxilia. So it took the focus off the legions, which is pretty cool. And we got a good book out of it anyway. But that book it's all in the fluff. You know, they only made 3 units for it, Cat. The solar dudes with las guns, the solar dudes with flamers, and the solar dudes transports, and that's all they had to make for it. So it was pretty sculpt, unintensive.
Yeah, but for that you could use existing guard armies. Obviously, It's not the same thing, but it's tank heavy.
So it was all a fluffy book. You know, it was all just written shit. And Prospero got delayed. And then next up they said, fuck it, let's do Kelth. So then they did Kelth, and Prospero got delayed. And then they got to this year and they went, oh, fuck, what do we do? I don't know, let's release another fucking campaign book, which I'm not a big fan of. It's cool to see another Book 4 type thing, but I think it was too soon after Book 4. I know a lot of people still haven't even fully used the rules from Book 4. To have more campaign stuff was a bit too soon in my eyes. It was just... It's like they've strung it out a little bit. We'll probably do a proper in-depth is it shit episode on it sometime in the next week or two.
I want to say Imperial army, like not just militia, but like an actual
proper.
So it'll be interesting because I don't know how they're going to fit
halfway between militia and
solar. Or if they though there doesn't seem to be, especially with the small, from 1 to 10 for stats. And they're just humans. There doesn't seem to be a lot of leeway. Whether these can be militia with more.
I think it'll be down to the specialist units. Far more specialist units than militia. Probably more higher command echelon stuff.
Yeah, I reckon
something
just
between
be like
solar and militia. Just a good combination of the two. Maybe they might even have some Solar Auxilia style units as their elites. Some cool theories here, but yeah. So I've strayed off topic with that, but. Long story short of it is, I expected Prospero 3 fucking years ago. If it doesn't come out this year, I don't care. It doesn't come out next year, I don't care. Because it's overdue. So anytime it does come out, I'll be happy.
But when it does come out, they're not going to do it right. That's my prediction.
Look, I've got a lot more faith in Forge World writing the book than if Games Workshop did. The only problem with Forge World is tone. And the same problem is with Black Library. We sort of spoke about it with Tim the other day, but when different writers tackle the same subject and give you two totally fucking different, like they make characters look bipolar. Like when just on that, Hockey Boy came out with a new book, so Black Library's got a new book out, or one for pre-order, I believe. I think it's just a sec. Which one's that? You're talking about ADB's Master of Mankind?
And the fuck is ADB like a word for a halal snack pack? Okay, I thought it was a new halal snack pack. Man, those things are delicious. No. Wait, yes, that is the dude. The guy that likes hockey, right? Hockey Boy. Hockey Boy made it?
I don't know what Aaron Dembski Bowden likes, to be honest. But I do know this. He's probably their best writer. Because he's the only one who's sort of consistent across the board with how he treats people. He doesn't... Like, people like John French, when they write heresy books, they tend to... They make the good guy really good, and they make the antagonist really bad. Like, Perturabo is a mustache-twirling villain, like fucking Skeletor levels in the Crimson Fist. Meh!
Skeletor's a good guy, mate.
Skeletor's top dude, top bloke. He comes over for beers every Friday. But when he writes Perturabo, like when one of his fucking lackeys brings him bad news, he just turns around and kills the cunt, right? And just loses his shit all the time, turns into an Angron-style rage monster. And then
that's what I do at work.
And then when he gets handled by fucking like Graham McNeil, he's a totally chill dude, and he's like a real thoughtful guy, and he's like, oh, this whole heresy thing's a bit shit, I hope I picked the right side. I kind of was forced into this because of my sins, and it's like the character comes across as bipolar, and same with like a lot of other Primarchs and stuff, and it's like, Forge World, you gotta pick your fucking tone. And Black Library really has to pick their tone, because there's nothing worse than getting to really like a character or a Primarch in one novel, and then goes on to the next one and they're totally different, and it sort of ruins the character for you. Which is something that Dembski Bowden is really good at. Like when he tackled the Ultramarines in Betrayer with Angron and Lorgar, with like the Shadow Crusade, he didn't make out the Ultramarines. He made them worthy opponents. He didn't go sucking fucking Gurlyman's dick off. He also didn't put down the Ultramarines. He just made them good antagonists. You know, gives Gilliman a few good moments, gives Angron a few good moments. You know, everyone has their fair share. So he's their most talented writer, as far as I'm concerned, for that ability to blend characters and tone, and consistently across the board.
Well, for his headshot here on Black Library, he's the only dude wearing a hat. Now, call me old-fashioned, but that's pretty unprofessional, wearing a hat for a display. The hat's taking up most of the headshot there, and that's
his thing. He always wears a hat. It's like on his Facebook.
He can't always wear a hat.
The poor guy's friends with me on Facebook, but he won't see any of my posts, because I'm the sort of guy that everyone just blocks notifications from.
Well, I don't think it doesn't say much about the book itself. The Master of Mankind. It's out for. It's been announced that it'll be out for release, and it'll be something about there'll be a signing and stuff in the UK, obviously.
He did show an email on Facebook that one of the other writers, might have been John French, turned around and said to him that he thinks it's the best novel in the Heresy so far, after reading it.
The hell's it about? You know anything
about
about
the
it?
Emperor and the War in the Webway.
Okay, well that makes sense, because
shit.
that's like the picture of the Emperor there with the flaming sword. I think that's the Blood Angels have flaming swords for their fluff as well.
Well, it's an interesting concept. The whole Emperor, like it would be shit to write the Emperor.
Oh god, Saturday the 19th of November. What the fuck? That's a while away. It's over a month away.
Well, book releases used to be a huge thing if you're like J.K. Rowling. Black Library is not J.K. Rowling, however. That said, their books are better than hers. I do not like the Harry Potter series at all. I fucking hate Mary Sue's, and Harry Potter is a fucking massive Mary Sue, so...
I fucking love Harry Potter, and I want a fucking magical fucking car. Fuck.
You don't even have a driver's license. Yet.
Well, look. A car is a big, 1 to 2 tons of steel. It can be used as a fucking weapon.
Anything can be used as a weapon. Anything can be used for porn.
It can be used as an effective weapon. Well...
Anything can be used for effective porn. Just saying. Anyway, we've really strayed fucking off topic here with that.
Well, that's ages away. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder if he'll release any, secrets. Will he tap his finger during the book release and try and, give out secrets? The Emperor was actually evil. Because I think a lot of people are saying that's how he's trying, that he comes up with his books, that everyone's like, oh, I hate the Emperor of Mankind now. You made it. That I hate him.
Everyone hates the Emperor of Mankind because Games Workshop as a whole, every entity of Games Workshop together have made out the Emperor to be this worshipped being, and then they made up reasons for the Primarchs along the way to betray him, and then it came time with the novel series to flesh out those reasons, and they were like, these reasons are really fucking shallow, really thin,
Yeah,
with
what
Angron it
reasoning
worked.
Isn't? Have you ever done a dump on someone at the bonnet of somene's car? Have you ever scratched your name into someone's car?
All right.
Ever ground your boots into someone's couch?
I don't remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch, but you know how, I'm saying, shallow reasons. You look at the Emperor and the whole Eleanor Crusade, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm leaving the Crusade, and the Primarch's like, why? And he's like, oh, I'm not telling you. And it basically led to all the shit that followed. And it's like, why wouldn't he tell them? He has no reason not to tell them. And then they're sort of, it just comes off as what a shit cunt, what a shit dad, and what he did to Angron, what a shit cunt, what a shit dad. And then you look at how he treats other Primarchs like Ultramarines, like Gilliman, Like, comes down to his planet, he's like, oh, you're a top dude, here's an army, you're like, awesome, bro. You know, he's all over the shop with how he treats the different Primarchs, and he comes across as, like, fucking missing a few screws. So, yeah, of course people are going to hate him.
No, it's Aaron... ADB, as you actually call him, what the hell?
Well, it just saves me having to say Aaron Dembski Bowden constantly.
Hell. I'll just call him Two Dads.
Touche.
Boom. You're wrecked. Alright. So, what next?
Alright, so Atropos with the new head, that looks cool. The new heads, they look cool. We're a bit disappointed that there's not any more interesting stuff. I was still hoping for Thousand Suns decals. They've got to be coming sometime soon.
Or Blood Angels decals. If you scroll down further, there's the fucking Red Scorpion decals came out a couple of weeks ago.
Wow, that really fucking helps.
Like, that's where it's at. Red Scorpions.
Who's the person who's...
I don't know
who the person is that's doing the decals up, right? But here's a personal message from me to you.
It's a chick.
Right.
It's someone's daughter.
If this is the only job you've got at Forge World is coming up with decals, and you've managed to string it out over 4 years, fucking...
Nah, they only got the job a couple of...
That is military levels of... That is military levels of not getting shit done.
Yeah, they only... When they re-changed the... Because they had an original set of decals that came out, and then they got redone, and she's the same person that redid those decals, so... I think she's done a pretty good job.
Alright, you can call up like Fallout Hobbies or any fucking dude who makes decals at home, and they can come up with fucking a whole sheet of decals, print them and one of the kind, print them off and mail them to you in like a few days. And this person hasn't even made fucking 18 Legions over how long? Like one a week. That's all you gotta do, one a week.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a part-time job or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said that, I prefaced it before I made my snide comment, that if this is their only task, they have managed to waste time spectacularly doing it. Obviously, if she's busy doing a bunch of other stuff...
Probably Forge World's dictated makers.
She could be doing artwork for the books, for all I know. You know?
Yeah.
Could be a very busy person, so I'm not bagging them out. I'm not bagging her out.
You are, because if she's
I'm just saying, if it's her only task, same as me, if this was my only job, releasing these videos, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
But it's not my only job. I have 3 jobs, so... You know, yeah, fucking hurry up with the decal. Also, actually, no. One legitimate criticism of her work. I've got multiple decal sheets for like Night Lords and stuff like that here, because I'm working on some Night Lords for a mate. Stop making fucking decals for only 4 Marines, or 9 Marines, or 8 Marines, or weird numbers. Marines come in squads of multiples of fucking 10. Make them in fucking 10s. So, just had to get that off my chest. Because I don't want to have to buy fucking...
Yeah.
I don't want to have to buy fucking 2 sheets of decals because they only have 4 of one marking, so I can need 2 sheets to mark 5 Marines. That's...
You know, Forge World want you to do that, right? Like, the more money, the more product you're buying, the better it is.
Yeah, well, they're not getting any Red Scorpion sheets sold to me, so, you know...
I'm just looking at it now, it's really good, and they're all 10.
Oh, I'm sure they look great. But
11,
the
actually.
Night
A lot of them
11.
11. You get an extra one to in case you fuck up.
I should confirm this, actually. I'll go look at the Night Lords ones.
Yeah, it's the Red Scorpion one was pretty good. If that's good, gives them it's a good tester anyway for like what's to come. So hopefully the Blood Angels are next, or yeah, I don't know about the fuck the Thousand Suns. They don't need them. They just turn to dust anyway.
Yeah, see, the Night Lords one, it's got like 4 of one type of symbol, 4 of another type of symbol, then a bunch of random glyphs. I mean, the random glyphs is fine, I guess. Then there's like 8 of the coffin symbol and 6 of this symbol, and it's when you're trying to throw together a squad, and you know, like squads of 10, which is the most consistent squad size in Heresy, it turns into a clusterfuck really fast.
Yeah, but the Night Lords kind of strike me as the kind of guys that really wouldn't adhere to some sort of doctrines and stuff. They seem like a clusterfuck to me.
It's more for your practicality on like the tabletop. You know, you're playing a tournament, something like that, or you can clearly define what's what. Like when two tactical squads charge into the same combat.
You don't just mesh them up, or you can use string. And also that's part of the fun, to mesh them all up and be like, oh, who the fuck's this guy? Night Lords, mate.
So yeah, no offense to them. I think the decal sheets are great. Just make them in multiples of 10 plus. Obviously, because 10 for the guys, and you also want 1 or 2 spares because you will fuck up at some point.
They have done that for most of them.
They've done that for most
Night
of them.
Lords
So.
And a lot of the Night Lords one, it's taken up a lot by that lightning. I think they could have just made a lightning sheet separately. But obviously only specific people would buy that. But then people could use it for Titans and for other shit as well.
Cool. Alright, so we're going to get to the end of this, wrap it up, because we are just ticking over the hour mark now. But on your new White Dwarf video, any comments you wanted to address?
We got one from Craig Bipabaloop. I don't know. People might be picking up Age of Sigmar because it's actually a good game. Shock. I think you're a faggot, mate. That might be a shock, but yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. I stand by my comment, which is it's not my thing. The fluff to me is clunky and there's 9 realms and it's nothing like Asgard because we changed the elves to elves with an A, right? And yeah, I don't know. I think the whole way Age of Sigmar was handled is poop. Does not appeal to me. If it appeals to you, fill your fucking boots, because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, it seems like Age of Sigmar is just like on the same par of breaking up a glass bottle full of hot sauce, shoving it up your ass, and then cutting off your own dick and shoving that up your ass too. It's not my level of fun. I'm sure some people are into it, but I don't know a lot of people that are. If it is what you're into, that's your business, man. But some people like Jehovah's Witnesses love that shit too. They love not the dick thing, but they love their religion. It's not my thing, and it just seems the same level of Jehovah's Witnesses kind of thing. And people are just trying to push it, and Games Workshop are coming off of more of a fucking cult than anything else to be like, hey, this real unbelievable bullshit, give us lots of money, and it's real crap, but it's good, it's a good game apparently. No thanks. No, man, you're right.
People are telling it to me as a skirmish game. I don't know. You want to tell me a good skirmish game that's good on your wallet? Like, people keep telling me that Age of Sigmar is good on your wallet. X-Wing. Straight away, the first thing that comes to mind is X-Wing, which I have a bunch of. Because
bolt action.
I can, bolt action, although that's getting bigger, sort of in the same way that 40k expanded in 3rd Ed. But, if I want a small skirmish game, I can play X-Wing. Everything's pre-painted, comes out of a box, it's cheap, all the rules are there. Everything's got points values as well, and it's pretty tightly balanced. And then Age of Sigmar has just had points values thrown in along the way because GW probably got too many fucking emails from pissed off fanboys.
I still play Mordheim, so get wrecked, GW.
Yeah, I still play Mordheim. All the shit's available for free online. Mordheim's one of their best games ever. Like Necromunda, games that they shouldn't have discontinued, and apparently they're going to bring them back because I think they're bringing out Blood Bowl first out of their specialist games, even though the smart money would have been to bring back Battlefleet Gothic first to coincide with the Battlefleet Gothic PC release.
That's what I thought would happen.
And mobile game, which is like, being a businessman, to me that makes more sense because you're going to get cross-pollination. You're going to get people from PC go, I want to try the tabletop, and you're going to have people from the tabletop go, I want to try the PC, and Games Workshop gets money both ways. But instead they're going for Blood Bowl, and I think that's because, what's that Mantic version of Blood Bowl?
Is it the
Dread
fantasy
Ball or something?
One? There's Guild Ball, and there's also Dread Ball as well, I think. I hope they both sue Games Workshop. I really do. For IP infringement. That'd be fucking hilarious.
But yeah, I think that's who Games Workshop is just like trying to push them out of the market or something, or Games Workshop finally cottoned on to the fact there is a market. No matter how much they neglected it, there was a market. yeah, I don't know. I still think it was the wrong choice of what to go with first, but that's just me. Any other comments you want to look into?
No, you're all right, Craig. Don't worry about it, mate. It's not to me. It's not a good game. I don't like it, and it just seems it's like 80% of the new White Dwarf, and not the original comments. That's not what people were saying originally when it first came out, and people are kind of being weaned to it. And marketing is a wonderful thing for companies. It seems can change people's minds for reasons they don't even understand.
All the people who hated it and violently spoke about it, they've all left. All the people who are left and picking it up and still buying it are going to be the people who do like it. You know, it's like...
Yeah, and there's a new player base as well, and it's obviously appealing to newer players. So, yeah, fair enough, but... to me, it's just it's been heavily marketed.
The people that go and hang out at Games Workshop probably are into it because they're the people who go and hang out at Games Workshop.
But they're going to be into anything, right?
People,
Games Workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
people who are going down to Games Workshop, you know, they know Larry the Manager on a first name basis.
Yeah, the regulars, I believe they call it, the Games Workshop regulars.
Yeah, the guys who all sit around the painting table, and you know, when a dude walks in, and you know, they all like fucking turn into 14-year-old schoolgirls and, oh, that guy smells. Oh, what a weirdo. Oh, I can't believe he bought that. Yeah, your Games Workshop regulars. We think so highly of you. They're always going to be into whatever Games Workshop brings out, and they're not going to turn around to the manager and go, oh, this is shit. Because they're best mates with Barry, the fucking model pusher. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Whatever, man. People who are into it, do it. People who aren't, leave it. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. For me personally, there's a comment on one of my videos by Leviathan Omega. It's a pretty big comment. People who want to read through it all, you can either go to the video in question or sit here, pause it, and read through it.
Chaos Space Marines, what broke the fans? I think I did like this video. You're not your usual ranty self. It's a hell of a lot of nostalgia, and fuck, man, yeah, it just made me sick and sad, really. It was pretty sad. It's
depressing as fuck. I decided that I'd done a few ranty videos where I'd said, you're a fucking idiots, Games Workshop, in a real Australian way, poking fun at them, a bit tongue-in-cheek with the swearing. People seem to think we swear over the top because we're trying to prove a point about how manly we are. We actually don't care. We just swear because we feel like it.
I'm wearing a skirt
or we're
right
doing
now,
it for a
so
laugh.
whatever, mate.
But with this video, I tried to highlight the fact that we've lost more than we've gained from our codex over the last 15, 20 years, whereas Marines have just been going from strength to strength to strength. And at the same time, the releases for certain units have pretty much stagnated. And my big point was that when people... when Games Workshop focuses entirely on one army, like, say, Space Marines, and goes, here's a new codex, here's new models, here's new fucking this, right, constantly, people are going to be drawn to it, because they want the new models, they want constant rules updates. And when you've got an army like Chaos, you have the opposite effect. Because there's no new models, because there's no updates, people aren't drawn to it. And Games Workshop's put themselves into a loop of, you know, they bring out rules for Marines, Marines sell well, so they go, oh, because Marines sell well, we'll give them new rules and kits. And they've created this loop when there's multiple armies that could be selling well. You know, I think if you go back to 3rd edition, you probably find that fucking at the time of 3.5, maybe even early 4th, Marines and Eldar probably both outsold Marines. Like Chaos Space Marines and Eldar probably both outsold or equaled Marines. I know Chaos was fucking everywhere at that time, and all in the new plastic models, so people were buying them brand new. But yeah, in line with your actual comment, Leviathan, our range is confusing. There should probably be multiple codexes, as I've mentioned before. Yes, there should be rules for Legions. Yes, there should also be rules for Renegades. There should probably be rules for Dark Mechanicus. Yes, Marines have 6 fucking codexes. We know it. I agree. Nothing we can do about it. Cat?
Yeah, well, thanks for the comment. It's a fucking huge one, and you've obviously put a lot of effort into it. Yeah, it's a piece of shit. Everyone that's played Chaos obviously knows it's a piece of shit. Unless you're the new kind of player and says, "Oh, I can work with this," you just don't know how good it used to be, or just have a dwell into 30k. Just put your foot in the water and just see how good that is compared to the Chaos Codex now, like what it used to be. Yeah, it is a money game for them with the for GW now, and they're putting the rules inside the boxes with the like your big unit formations or some shit are in the boxes now. It's fucking weird. And all they do is like put multiple shit in a box, and they go, "Hey, that you get extra rules for it," but you can only get the rules from the box. So you could buy the box set to get the rules. So formations, I believe, yeah, formations. So that's fucking brutal. Why is that not just free online? Like, what if I already have
it's
like
hiding content behind a paywall? Welcome to DLC.
Like, I've already got a bunch of fucking world eaters. I need to like sell them, but I've got like 40 something like corn world eaters, 40k ones, and apparently they get a new freaking formation. But like to get that formation, I have to buy the little box set formation. What? I don't know. Anyway, it seems it's a money game.
Yeah, look, I think the best point of his comment is something I haven't really spoken about. He says the whole aesthetic in the book, in the models, in the art, is fucking confused. Are we renegades? Are we legions? Lost in the Dam, Dark Mechanicus? We have elements of all these.
Yeah.
We're literally trying to be 4 things at once because GW is afraid to give us 4 or 5 fleshed out sub-factions. Yep. Yes, you're perfectly fucking correct, dude.
Yeah.
We got fucking Dinobots. We have fucking cultists. We've got legions to some extent because of like the cult units for like Thousand Suns and Khorne Berserkers. But we've also got fucking no other rules to represent their legions. There's no rules at all for half the legions. And most of the decks is built to be Codex Renegades, emphasizing characters like Huron Blackheart. So yes, it's all over the fucking shop. In tone, in style, in theme. I can't fucking agree with you more, dude, which is why I chose to respond in the video to your comment.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Yeah, and they've come out on their Facebook page, actually. Someone asked them if they're going to be doing Dark Mechanicum anytime in the future, and they're like, no, we're not.
Yes, all they had to do
and
was...
people started wanking off about it. They're just like, oh my god, that means you're going to do it, like, in the next 600 years, maybe.
All they have to do with Dark Mechanicum is use the fucking same Mechanicum models and just add a few fucking upgrade sprues. Bit of plug and change. Like,
yeah,
remember how in the old days, like
absolutely.
Third Ed, all they had to do was throw in that spiky bit sprue. They had
all those half dexes, man. Do you remember like the Eye of Horror? Eye of Horror.
Yes, the supplements, real supplements.
Yeah, the little they're like 12, 14 pages of. They had the Dark Angels Codex used to be, and the Blood Angels Codex used to be a couple of pages, and you'd use the normal Space Marine Codex for the main body of it, and then you'd get a couple extra rules. That'd be sweet. That'd be easy.
Or even chapter approved. But like, all you got to do for Mechanicum
wow, let's not go nuts.
Like I say, in 3rd edition, they'd give you, how you get like, even now in like the Chaos Rhinos, you get like the spikes. They come with like a bunch of spikes with like heads skewered on them and stuff, like skulls skewered on them, and
no, you gotta have skulls.
And there'd be like those little rectangular plates with like Chaos stars on them, and you glue them on like your Rhino hatches and stuff. And that's all you got to do. Just drop a sprue of that in with a fucking Dune Crawler Onager or whatever they're called, the fucking sentinels with 4 legs that they make for the Mechanicum, and straight away, hey, it's a Chaos Dune Crawler, same as what they did with the Chaos Knight. They didn't do like Forge World, they didn't give it all new Chaos fucking parts, they just threw a fucking spike sprue in and some decals and said, yeah, you go, Chaos Knight, fucking fill your boots. It's literally that easy, you don't have to. All the units are there, You could add, say, you could make it a Mechanicum army, right? Uses most of the same units, and then adds in, like, the Dinobots out of Chaos. Because I think Dinobots belong in either a Dark Mechanicus book or in the Demons book. Because those Dinobots are more like the Demon's Soul Grinder than they are to the Defiler. Because the minute you start adding flesh on, and giving it eyes and fucking features like that, it's a living creature, and it belongs in demons. It may have robotic stuff attached, but that's a demon. When it's still noticeably a vehicle, and maybe it's like fucking... What's that Satan fucking car off Futurama?
The wear car.
The wear car, that's it. Yeah, when it's the wear car, it's just a fucking rhino, and it like has, I don't know, red light glowing out of the cockpit. That's a Chaos Space Marines Dark Mechanicum vehicle, right? And that belongs in a Chaos Codex. That's the
when
difference.
it grows legs and starts running around, and you know, and it starts doing its own. It's got a job. It starts doing its taxes and stuff like that. Then it's its own entity and it belongs in the Demon Codex. Yeah, I agree. You know, non-Space Marine guys that are humans and running around and like they're guard units, and they're like, you know what? I think today we're going to kill our general and we'll just raise this Chaos flag. I think they belong in their own codex as well, which Forge World has provided as well. A good base and something that they could model off, I think, as well.
Yes,
Forge
World's Renegades books with, was it Siege of Rax? The Renegades books that they've released at Forge World prove that you can do a great Renegades army with minimal effort. They are practically just Cadian box sets. And all that Forge World does when you buy from is you can get like a couple of upgrade sprues to make them more renegade-y. And that's all they had to do. That was minimal fucking effort. They play very similar to Guardsmen. So, you know, hint hint, fucking, it's not much work, Games Workshop, to make it. You know, if you put a bit of heart and soul into the fucking Chaos armies, give them some cool new units, people will flock back to it. And you'll get more than just Marines, Eldar, and Tau at every fucking tournament.
Well, yeah, but on that video, yeah, saying that's all positive. Well, it's positive comments coming out of a real sad situation, but just like to thank everyone for commenting on that video, and we share your pain of the love of chaos.
Yes, this is probably the most comments we've actually ever had on a video, a whopping 12, probably including our own comments. That's way better than the cease and desist letters we get from Games Workshop and their lawyers. But yeah, we love feedback. We love to hear from you guys, and part of the reason why I wanted to address Leviathan's comment in particular was I wanted to give you the time of day. You know, you put the effort into the comment. I didn't want to just, you know, give you a thumbs up on Facebook or on YouTube and leave it be. I wanted to actually address you and say, you know, I agree. I've noticed what you've said, you know. I'm not just paying you off, man. Same as like Craig. You know, Cat teased you at the start of his reply to you about, you know,
it's all in good fun, man. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, we're poking fun, man. You know, you have your opinion, and we're cool with it. Even if you disagree with us, we're cool with it. So, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Cat, anything you'd like to say to our beloved audience of shit cunts?
Just the guys on that Chaos video. If you really do love Chaos and you still have that flame, check out 30K. It's everything that it's awesome. So if you haven't already, just try and put your foot in the water and have a peek at it. It's real good.
Yes, to people on that Chaos video as well. If you got people who are thinking about videos about Chaos and things like that, point them at, like, you know, the problem with Chaos Space Marines video I've done, or the Slaanesh video that I also did, why Games Workshop's afraid of Slaanesh. You know, these videos, I may sound very ranty in them, but I assure you, what I'm putting out in the videos, it's the truth. You know, like, I put up, where I can, I put up actual images of the things I'm referring to, like with the current video that I've just done on What Broke the Fans. You know, there's actual images of the kits when they were released, what they were replaced by, the release schedule, you know, where things have changed over the last, 20 years. It's a good watch, you know. I'm telling you, as the creator of the content, it's good, and you want to watch it and share it. So
it sounds like Age of Sigma. It's a good game, mate. Go fucking play it. Drop a couple of grand. Don't worry about it, mate. It's all good. You'll love it.
That's it. All I've got to do is slap a GW symbol on these videos, and the fanboys will lap it up. Yeah, you will, you little fucking dirty little birdies. Anyway, I'll see you all next time.
Catches.